My side of the story goes something like this. I was minding my own business like I do, but she was cherry red and fine, born in 1959, white ball tires and a rag top roof. Lord, Lord, a T-bird with a rag top roof. Yeah, my face reflected pale in all of that shiny chrome for sale. Price tag of 45 large. I was thinking, well, hell, I got
some. Yes, rock and roll guitar. It's my favorite guitar. This is one that my dad rebuilt. The neck had been broken off a few times, but my dad was a luthier, and guitars were so expensive to repair, he thought that he should probably do that instead, because it helped me out a lot and saved us a lot of money. But then he got into building guitars, and you'll see the one on the far end is my first classical guitar when I went to the Royal Conservatory that he built for me. And that one is 1982. This one he built for himself, and when he passed away a few years ago, then I inherited that from him. But he really liked the detail. You can see all the binding all the way around, the fancy bridge, all the abalone, all up the neck, all the inlays and stuff. Very beautiful. Another guitar that he built for me, because this was just a few years ago. My hands are, deteriorating with age, and so he built me a smaller neck, so it was a little bit easier for me to play. And that's a beautiful guitar. But these guitars are all very personal to me, and there's really no value in them as far as selling them, so they're a huge value for me because they come from my father, his legacy. Well, tuck and roll is, the lyric is about somebody who's out of control. So I don't want to be too precious with my guitar solo. I want to be... You gotta be mean, right? It's nasty. And dirty, like, you just hit other notes. You got noise, right? That's and then off the end, they're driving, right? And they're out of control. And that's the end of the solo. At least for now. It might be different. I'm not too sure yet. Solos, I can record, lots of different solos, and then I pick the best ones, but that's my approach. Well, I played bass on Tuck and Roll, as I do all of our songs, and I love bass. I think I like playing bass more than I do guitar. It's just so much fun. In Tuck and Roll, that was very sloppy, but that's okay. We don't want sloppy bass on Tuck and Roll. We want sloppy guitar. Something like that, I improvise. And then, like I said, I go back and I listen, and then I find my bass part. A lot of times, though, with bass, I do go back and I rewrite my bass parts because I am improvising and I'm not as proficient as I am on guitar, so it's a little bit more of a process for me, and then I can really tighten up the bass lines. I can add extra riffs, something like that. So it's fun for me. I just love bass. When we do live performances, we don't have bass in our songs. We have Clay playing percussion, and Laurie sings and plays a little bit of guitar, and I play guitar. So with the three of us playing together, it's a different sound. As soon as you start adding bass, then it starts really filling out the sound in a live situation for our type of music, which is mostly folk and kind of country folk. I think it really works best without a bass, so we just kind of don't use it.
Well, on Tuck and Roll, Rick came to me with Rick and Laurie came to me with the arrangement, and so as in most cases, take a few good listens to the to what they've brought to me, and basically going with the genre of the song and the feel, and which brings you to the instrumentation. So what's going to work within that song? And so I was very straight ahead, 4 on the floor beat. And so that's kind of where we started with it, and brought it back to Rick, and then we kind of tweaked it a little bit here and there, and it is what we have now. So it's a fairly simple song, but
the feel is the main thing. You got to have the right feel, and you have a great feel for, you know, putting it together. When I give you the tracks, there's no drums on it, and I'm like, well, what would Clay do? You know.
yeah,
and he does it. So and it turns out really, really well. It suits the song. You add character to it.
But between the two of us, we collaborate to hone it down to, you know, make it what it is in the final result. But very often I'll come and Rick will go, yeah, that's great, but maybe we should do this here, or maybe we should do that there, and we kind of deliberate between the two of us and come to a mutual agreement, and that's...
And it's just not one drum take that we do. We can do 5 or 6, and then we'll kind of, you know, as we keep taking more, they start changing a little bit, and we like that because we can take bits and pieces.
It evolves through the process, exactly. And that's where it ends up.
Tuck and Roll is an example of a song that is going to be a little bit tricky to do live, because the fully produced version on the album is really lush and it has a lot of different tracks. Now, as a trio, we're going to try and pull that off, and you be the judge as to whether or not we actually do.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my side of the story goes something like this. I was minding my own business like I do. She was cherry red and fine, born in 1959. While the tires and the rag on the roof. Lord, Lord, it's you with a rag on the roof. Yeah, well, my face reflected pale and all of that shiny chrome. The price tag of 45 large. I was thinking, well, hell, I got some jewelry I could sell. So I pulled out my old master heart. Lord, Lord, yeah, I slapped down my plastic on that car. And I slid behind the wheel, I put that pedal to the steel. Reached out to the 401. Yeah, I never fucking road till it satisfied my soul. I was having way too much fun. Burning down the 401. Burning down the 401. We can't afford, we love afford. We can't afford, we love afford. Lord, Lord, we can't afford. Never tuck and roll surely satisfied my soul. I was having way too much fun. Burning down the 401. His side of the story goes something like this. Well, he heard me out, but he was not pleased. Said a husband should have say in any major purchase made. Well, I just smiled and handed him the keys. Lord, Lord, for one ride is worth 1,000 words from me. Yeah, and he slid behind the wheel, put that pedal to the steel, cruised out to the 401. Yeah, that leather tuck and roll must have satisfied his soul. We were having way too much fun. Burning down the 401. Burning down the 401. soul. We